I'm really pleased to be able to introduce to you Catherine Arlidge. Now, Catherine, amongst many, many other things, is the artistic director and general face of the National Children's Orchestra, but you will have also seen her performing as a working violinist, a jobbing violinist in the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, and she's the most wonderful creative lead in education work around the Birmingham area in general. She's got a marvellous workshop to offer everybody, which is about presentation skills for musicians. Tell us, Catherine, what happens in this workshop?
Well, it's a really interactive session designed to support musicians, particularly to speak publicly, whether that's to speak from a platform to audiences or whether it's to speak to a camera or on a webinar or any of these situations, to give you the confidence, because quite often public speaking pushes us into a bit of a discomfort. So it's about making sure that we're as comfortable as we can be. And there are 5 guiding principles around how to do it, which we've developed with Stringcredibles actually. One is pitch it right, so understand your audience, who are you talking to. The next one is prepare, make sure you really are organized and prepared. Pace it well, so think about the energy and the shape of what you're saying and delivering. Then practice, because people don't ever think really that they need to practice public speaking. And then finally, when it comes to it, do what you do best as a musician and perform and deliver it and really sell it as your thing. And the joy of public speaking really is it's a very transferable skill from being a musician to being a public speaker. All the skills you need to be a musician around practicing, preparing, spotting mistakes, being in control of your body, being in control of your nerves, your breathing, knowing what to say, knowing how to communicate, knowing how to be spontaneous. All those skills are what you need to speak publicly well. So it's basically about giving people that confidence to think, I can speak to a camera, I can speak to an audience, and I'm brilliant at it.
And what sort of people do you think might need these skills? In what situations might musicians these days need those skills, do you think?
Well, a lot of musicians have been telling me that they're constantly being kind of surprised by the ask now of them, especially in the digital space, that actually, could you hop on a webinar? Could you speak to our audiences about X, Y, or Z? Or could you do a little social media post? Or could you, speak to the BBC or whatever it is? So we are having to do this stuff much more. And I think it's really useful to us as a profession, as musicians, to be able to communicate more effectively about the value of what we do, because it is so special and it is so precious. And if we can't articulate that terribly well, we're not doing ourselves a great service. So I think it's really for anybody really, especially, I mean, the transferability of the musician skills is key, and it's the sort of shortcut for me to be able to help and support people to say, just do what you would do in the practice room in the same way as you would preparing your public speaking.
So, how many people ideally would be in one of these workshops?
Well, we usually do it with about 6 to 8 musicians, just so that we can have a bit of interaction, a bit of question answering, a bit of to and fro, so that we know that I can shape the session for their needs. So they might say, I really want to know more about speaking to camera, or I really am worried about my body language or my eye contact. Then we can kind of bespoke it a little bit more. And it's also really nice to get a sense that there's a group of people working together. Even if you don't know each other, we're all very much in the same boat with this stuff. It's pushing us all into a slight discomfort. And sort of owning that discomfort as a little kind of collective team group is a really nice way to do it. Just one thing to add, Nicole, I've managed to get some amazing public speakers to give us a few top tips. So I've got some videos in the session from the actor Tamsin Greig, from Bill Bailey, from the MP Thangam Debonair, from Stephen Huff. So from people who are used to doing this work, and also from BBC presenters Stephanie Flanders and Satnam Rana, who speak to camera a lot. So it's not only my expertise, but it's also a much wider expertise of people who work in this field very broadly.
So, Musical Orbit's going to be hosting one of these presentation skills for musicians events. So all you need to do is sign up for your slot. You can persuade some friends to join you if you want to have a bit of fun together. Like Kath says, putting yourself in your discomfort zone is a very useful thing. And then when it comes to doing it in real life, it won't feel so scary. If you want to book your slot on one of these presentation skills for musicians sessions, please head along to Musical Orbit's events page, and you'll see there where you can buy your own slot, and Catherine's magical, marvellous time will hopefully transform your presentation skills. So thank you so much for joining us today, Kath.
Thank you.